just about your decision to come back to the Blue Jackets this season, kind of thinking through what were some of those decisions that, some of those thoughts that were a part of that decision, and what led us here to this moment right now, sitting here at Dev Camp, really just taking in all these prospects, getting to know all these prospects, I'm sure, which is something that's a little bit of a learning curve coming into the org. But how's all that feel?
Yeah, well, it feels great. When I came in that last year, Don and I both agreed, okay, let's get through the year and we'll see how it goes and see how I feel, and we'll make that decision at the end of the season about me coming back. But there was no doubt in my mind at the end of the season I definitely wanted to come back, and fortunately Don wanted me back. So there was no hesitation on my part. I feel good. I'm healthy again, and look very much forward to the start of the season. I find this summer dragging on. I can't believe we're not even into July yet, which is tomorrow, but it's been a long summer. I hate missing the playoffs, and I know our players are all feeling the same thing. But no, there was never a hesitation about me coming back for this year, and we'll take it a year at a time. I know it's a one-year deal. It doesn't mean I won't be back next year either. So that's how we're just. I'm 71 now. We'll just see how everything goes. I'm expecting a very strong season and a better season. I'm expecting us to get in the playoffs like everyone else is, and that'll have a bearing on what happens at next year. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just worried about getting this team ready for training camp, which helps with the development camp here, seeing some of these kids. Now, this will be the only chance we get to see them, because it's going to be a very small camp this year, because there's only 4 exhibition games. And there's not a lot of practice time, so we're not going to have as many bodies as we normally would in the training camp. So it's important that I see some of these kids now. One thing about the kids today, man, they can all skate and they can all shoot, and it just shows itself in all the drills that they're doing out there. But it's a good opportunity just to say hello. They get to see me around, and I get to meet them a little bit. So just take advantage of these days that we have here. But never ever take your focus off of what we're, September, and I can't wait to get back on the ice. This stage, it looks like we're going on the ice September 18th, and I can't wait to get there.
Good deal.
That's amazing. We hate a long off season too, of course, as fans. But before we dive into the deeper things, have you been enjoying at least a little relaxation over the off season? Been able to get out on the boat, that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, I like to play golf and the boating, and we live in Nova Scotia in the summer. So yeah, we live on the water. So the weather hasn't been great, so there hasn't been a lot of boating. But I've been out in the sea do a little bit, and any nice day we're out in the water as much as we can, or on the golf course. Listen, the season, as you know, is hectic, and it's every day. It's not like we get weekends off. We don't. And we're there every day. So you've got to make sure you just regroup in the summer, and take advantage of the time. But at the same time, there's always work to be done as a coach in this league, and it's constant communication with the players. It's you're always trying to look at ways to improve yourself, and I still do that. You're always thinking about the team, about how we can do things better, how we can make this individual player better. So the coaching never goes away from you, but you do try to enjoy the summer as much as you can.
I appreciate the question about the offseason comes back to thinking about the game. I can respect that, right? But, of course, as the head coach, you coach this team that's available to you. And as we all know, you committed to coming back to this team to help it make the playoffs. So we're sure you're paying attention to the news of the day, right? How do you, as a head coach, as a veteran head coach who's navigated a number of these situations in the past, how do you separate what's happening off the ice with the things that are happening in terms of transactions, in terms of the team that will be available to you in September versus what the here and now is and what the reality is?
Well, the things that are happening are totally out of my control. So, I just kind of look at, okay, we get to training camp, who's here? What players are we working with? That's all that matters. This other stuff, that'll take care of itself. Who knows where it's going to go? That's, Don's on top of that. He's very good at keeping me informed of what's going on. But from a coaching perspective, I only worry about the guys that are going to be here the first day of training camp, and who we have to work with. That's the most important thing. it is what it is, and the things that are happening are completely out of a coach's control. So you can't beat yourself up on it. You can't spend a whole lot of time thinking about it. It's just a waste of time. I'll worry about the team when we see her that shows up on September 17th.
So we know that you and your staff give all the guys like sort of expectations or things you want to see them work on over the course of the off season. And we're almost about halfway through for us. Are you satisfied with the progress that you've been seeing or the reports that you're getting back from your staff when they're speaking with the guys and how things are going with them? I mean, we know Veron Cobb's out in Connecticut working on a lot of things. So how are you feeling about the players as they're about halfway through the offseason?
The one unfortunate thing about this going into training camp is that we're not allowed to physically test them to see exactly see where they are conditioning wise. So now you're relying on them being a man, being a pro. And yeah, we give them all individualized conditioning programs. You call them, yeah, we're working out. So you just have to take them at their word. You can't go babysit them every day. Here's your program. Here's the timeline of the program. Here's exactly what we need you to do. And usually at all the training camps before, you could test them to see exactly where they are. We're not allowed to do that anymore, for whatever reason. So you're relying on their honor and their professionalism to show up to camp in the best shape they possibly can. And when you miss the playoffs like we did, I fully expect, and one of the things I've been telling them, if they're not in the best shape they've ever been in their life, then it's a disservice to their teammates. It's a disservice to the team. So I've been pushing them that no matter what you've done in the past, it's not good enough. So keep pushing, keep raising the bar. And again, without being the ability to test them prior to going on the ice, we'll see where they are when we put them on the ice and we put them through the drills. But we've got a good group here. We are. They're good. They're good kids. And those are the things that when we talk of changing the culture a little bit, those are the things that have to change. You have to keep raising the bar. You have to keep pushing yourself to getting out of your comfort zone. And that's really been the goal of when I'm talking to the players or emailing them or texting them, just to keep raising that bar and keep pushing themselves, get them over that comfort zone that they've been in.
No doubt. And I'm sure you'll know pretty clear in September whether or not folks are sticking to those plans.
Yeah, exactly right. Listen, it will when we get the pace of the practices going. And we'll see who can keep up, and we also can see who fades quickly and who doesn't, and then we address that separately.
Now, I mean, obviously, again, without getting into any sort of off-season specifics, there's always conversation that happens in the off-season about really relationship, right? There's a lot of people in the fifth line that are all sorts of excited about the concept of a certain power or a certain forward that's out there in the news quite a bit right now, a relationship you've got with. Maybe that plays into what happens in Columbus, but just really the crux of that question is, what role does relationship play, especially as a coach who's been in this game for as long as you have? What role do relationships play in terms of how a team moves forward, right? Whether that's with decisions that Don makes, is he coming to you to say, like, do you have a relationship with this player? What do you know about this player? Just walk us through what the next few days, weeks might look like from that communication standpoint between the GM, who's also well connected, and yourself as a veteran head coach.
Well, Don's very good at keeping me abreast of what's close. I don't want to hear about every conversation he has with general managers. He knows they talk to each other every day. So there's a lot of those conversations that take place that nothing's gonna. I don't need to know those things. I don't. I worry about the players that I have here. Now, if there's something close and there's something imminent, or they're working on something, that's when Don will come to me and we'll talk about it and he'll ask my opinion. Ultimately, that's his fine, the staff's call and management to get the players, and that's fine with me. I trust whatever they do. But Don's very good at that. It's okay, this is imminent, or we're close on this. Then I want to get involved. Other than that, I don't want to get involved. I just want to spend my time talking about the players that we have. And I'm very comfortable with. I have a good rapport with all the players. I have good open communication with all the players. I know at the end of the year meetings when we sat one-on-one in my office, listen, every meeting went great, was very positive. Gave them a hug, said have a good summer. We'll see you in September, and then you continue those communications through the course of the summer with each and every player. Now, again, when it comes to the other things that are going on, that's Don and the management team will take care of all those things. Again, I'll coach whoever we show up with in September.
Sounds like a plan to us.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
and we'll wrap things up quickly with, there were so many players that were adamant about you returning. There were so many members of the fifth line that really wanted to see you come back, just mainly based on the window that we got to see and all the success that you created in that small amount of time that you were the coach. So now you're going to have a whole season from start to finish. Are you excited about that as a coach, to get to really put your method to fruition in that opportunity?
Yes, and we're going to change some things the way we play. There's certain systems that we're changing. You look at our specialty teams; they weren't even close to being good enough last year. And if you go back to last year, there was just no practice time because of the condensed schedule. If you look at our schedule this year, there is more practice time, but more importantly, we can implement those systems in the first day of training camp and then stay on top of them. So there's changes to how we're going to play the game that we couldn't do last year. But even when we came back from the Olympic break, I was thinking about making some changes, but we were winning at that time. So don't make changes for the sake of making changes, because everything was going really well at that particular time. So we're all disappointed how the last couple of games, the last 10 games went. Incredibly disappointing that we lost 6 straight games at home, and 5 of them by 1 goal. That drives me insane. But there are certain systems we are changing. The specialty teams have to get better. There's certain systems in the neutral zone we're going to change that will make us a better team. So that I'm excited about that we actually have some practice time going into the season to fix do things the way I like to see them done. And again, now I know the players a lot better. I know who can handle certain situations, who can't, and who we need more from. And I'm going to give them, those younger players are going to be given more opportunities now. It's time some of these younger guys took the next step, and it's my job to give them that opportunity and to help them handle that. And so those are the things that we're going to implement that I'm very, very excited about.
Yeah, just a quick follow-up with that too, right? Obviously, your coaching staff's changing a little bit going into the next season, right? So is that obviously the addition of Trent Vogelhuber to the bench, but is there any other changes that you're expecting there on the bench? And if so, or if not, rather, kind of thinking through, are you at the stage where you're starting to figure out who's going to be working with which groups and what that looks like in terms of special teams and whatnot?
Yeah. We're gonna add one more to our staff, and we're close to finalizing that deal. Adding Trent's going to be huge for us. I don't know Trent that well, to be honest with you, because when I just only been here a few months, I met him once before coming into this week. But all I know is that the whole organization speaks very, very highly of him. The players that have played for him speak highly of him. My conversations with him, I've been very impressed. He's very confident. He knows his stuff. He'll at some point he will be a head coach in this league, from what I can see. And I'm very forward to working with him and helping him learn how to coach in this league. It's right. In the minors, you're coaching young guys that are trying to get up here. Now up here, you're coaching guys that have been around, have financial security. They're here. They're not going anywhere. You're dealing with you're dealing with a totally different professional athlete at this level. But he's smart enough, and he's dedicated enough, and he's a hardworking guy. He'll adjust to that very easily. So we're looking forward to working with Trent every day. And yes, we will be making one more addition to the staff, and that hopefully will happen very shortly.
Good deal. Well, we appreciate you taking the time, my friend.
Okay, thank you very much.